The bus rumbled down the road. It was filled with excited kids. They were going on a trip. The children chattered and laughed, their faces glowing with anticipation. They had been looking forward to this day for weeks. This was no ordinary trip. It was a trip to Blackwood Manor. The name alone sent shivers down their spines, but it also sparked a sense of adventure. The teachers were excited too. Miss Miller kept smiling, her eyes twinkling with the thrill of the unknown. Mr. Jones told stories. He made everyone laugh with his animated tales of haunted houses and friendly ghosts. But Blackwood Manor was known for its spooky stories. Legends of ghosts and mysterious happenings had been passed down for generations. The bus pulled up to the gates. The gates were rusty and old, covered in vines and moss. They creaked open slowly, as if they hadn't been used in years. The bus entered the grounds, and the air seemed to grow colder. Everyone went quiet. Blackwood Manor loomed over them, its dark windows like eyes watching their every move. It looked like a scary face, with its gnarled trees and overgrown bushes adding to the eerie atmosphere. The trip just got interesting. The students stepped off the bus. A cold wind blew, rustling the leaves and sending a chill through the air. The children huddled together, their breath visible in the frosty morning. It sent shivers down their spines. They exchanged nervous glances, their eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. The old manor loomed ahead, casting long shadows on the ground. Blackwood Manor was huge and dark. It had tall towers that seemed to touch the sky. The ancient stone walls were covered in ivy, giving it an even more mysterious appearance. The windows looked like eyes, watching their every move. Some of the children whispered about seeing shadows behind the glass, but no one dared to get closer. Mr. Jones told them about the manor. His voice was calm, but there was a hint of unease. "This place has a lot of history," he began, "and many stories. It's over 200 years old," he said. The children listened intently, their imaginations running wild with thoughts of ghosts and hidden secrets. Miss Miller added, "They say it's haunted by its old caretaker." The students gasped. They entered the manor, their footsteps echoing in the vast, empty halls. The air inside was cold and damp. It felt as if the walls themselves were breathing, whispering secrets from the past. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling. Dust covered everything. The children moved cautiously, afraid to disturb the eerie silence. As they walked, they heard strange noises. Was it the wind or something else? The creaking floors and distant whispers made their hearts race. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. The students explored the manor. They walked down long, dark hallways. They peeked into dusty rooms. Each room had a story. Each story was spookier than the last. Then things started to happen. Doors slammed shut. They heard whispers in the dark. A cold hand touched someone's shoulder, but when they turned around, no one was there. Fear spread through the group. "It's just the wind," said someone. But even they didn't sound convinced. What was going on in Blackwood Manor? Section 4. Trapped. The students ran back to the main hall. They wanted to leave, but when they reached the front door, it wouldn't open. It was locked. "We're trapped," someone cried. Panic started to set in. Miss Miller tried to stay calm. "We need to find another way out," she said. The students searched for another exit. They looked everywhere, but every door was locked. Every window was barred. They were trapped in Blackwood Manor. Section 5. The Escape. Just when all hope seemed lost, they found a secret passage. It was a narrow, almost invisible door, hidden in the shadows of the old creaky mansion. The air was thick with suspense as they approached it. It was hidden behind a tapestry. The fabric was ancient, covered in dust and cobwebs, and it seemed like no one had touched it for centuries. They hesitated for a moment, but curiosity got the better of them. The passage was dark and narrow. The walls seemed to close in on them as they moved forward, their footsteps echoing eerily. The only light came from their flickering flashlights, casting long, dancing shadows. But they had to try. They followed the passage. Each step was filled with trepidation, but also a glimmer of hope. They knew this might be their only chance to escape the haunted manor. It led them deep under the manor. The air grew colder. and the sound of dripping water echoed through the tunnel. They could feel the weight of the entire mansion above them, pressing down. Finally, they saw a light. It was faint at first, just a tiny glimmer in the distance. But as they moved closer, it grew brighter, guiding them towards what they hoped was freedom. They emerged into a small courtyard. The night air was fresh, a stark contrast to the musty tunnel. They took a moment to breathe, their hearts pounding with relief. The back gate was open, they were free. Without a second thought, they dashed towards it, their legs fueled by adrenaline and the promise of safety. They ran back to the bus, never looking back. They were safe. The bus driver, who had been anxiously waiting, welcomed them with open arms. They knew they had escaped the clutches of the haunted manor, but they would never forget their spooky adventure at Blackwood Manor. The memories of the eerie corridors and mysterious sounds would haunt them for a long time. And the question remained, what was making those noises? The mystery of Blackwood Manor was far from over, and they knew that some secrets were better left undiscovered.